A new report says since the war began between Israel and Hamas last October, more than 24 Christians have died in Gaza. That is according to the Aid to the Church in Need. The group also says the situation in Gaza is becoming increasingly desperate. Finding food and fuel is very difficult, and the supplies that are available are extremely expensive. For an example, 5 gallons of diesel gas now costs more than $200. And joining us now to talk about this and more is Ed Clancy, Director of Outreach to Aid to the Church in Need. Ed, always so good to be with you. Thanks so much. We appreciate it. You know, you and I have talked about the situation for Christians in Gaza and those at the Catholic Parish, the Holy Family in particular, before. But Ed, what has changed since then? Can you give us any updates?
Well, it gets worse every day. Unfortunately, as time goes on, there are more people dying. There are more people on the verge of death. We have at least 60 children, handicapped children, who are stuck there. There's anywhere from 500 to 600 people residing there under the grimmest conditions, and yet the parish is somehow able to maintain them and give them at least a little bit of hope.
Yeah, and one thing we mentioned, Ed, was that food and fuel, they're in short supply. And I also understand so is running water. Talk to us about how that's impacting people and the serious issues that that's leading to.
Well, there's 80 to 100 children, and many of them need, powdered milk in order to, continue growing as a healthy child. And so one of the most important ingredients in putting powder and milk together is, water and milk, powdered milk together, is the water. And the short supply means that these children are facing dehydration. And then, of course, you have the elderly who might be compromised. In our story, we talked a little bit about a man who died because he was not able to get proper treatment. And he ended up dying alone and not being able to see his family in his last days, and now has been buried far away from where his family can even visit him. So it's a very difficult situation for the community. And it's something that's getting worse. In all of these situations, you have, when Christians are pushed like this, that there's a real chance of, the disappearance of Christianity in that whole region.
Yeah, and another place really where Christians are facing many, many challenges in Nigeria. I want to talk about that, the situation there for Christians. Recently, the European Parliament strongly condemned, in particular, the Christmas Eve attack in Nigeria that killed at least, I believe, 195 Christians. But the statement, Ed, blamed violence on climate change and environmental degradation. I know you know very well what's happening in Nigeria. Would you say that climate change is to blame?
I'm sorry to say it's nonsense. We were traveling with Bishop Wilfred Anagbe over these last couple of weeks here in the United States in Washington, D.C., and he said, essentially to paraphrase him, it's as if the pagan ritual of sacrificing Christian lives is going to solve climate change. Where and when has the killing of people solved an issue that could be resolved, if it really is an issue, by the government with programs to allow for both farmers and also for the herders to exist?
And this is probably a hard question to even answer. I mean, why do you think they're blaming this on climate change?
To avoid the facts. I mean, that's what it comes down to. When the bishop was in Washington, D.C., he was sitting there all alone at a markup for House Resolution 82, and it was in stark contrast to what the opponents of the resolution were saying. It's not about Christians. It's not about what's going on with these communities. And yet in Benue, there are 2.2 million people displaced, and 500 people have died since November of last year in this one area of Nigeria. And just to give you context, more people have died in Nigeria, more Christians have died in Nigeria than all over the world combined. In fact, 90% of all Christians died in 2022 were in Nigeria.
It's so tragic, Ed. Thank you for coming on and for all your insights and what you do. We appreciate it. God bless.
You're welcome. Thank you.